Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today the Destiny community came together to solve the very interesting chess puzzle and get us some pretty solid rewards as well as an awesome cutscene. And you can do this yourself if you choose, or you can just watch me to the end of the video. I will show you not only what you need to do in order to solve the puzzle right now, but also I will react to the cutscene as well and show you what rewards you get. Now, one thing to note, in order to get to this antechamber and have it unlocked, you have to get at least 4 chess pieces that you have to find throughout the world. These can be found initially in Eris Morn's apartment, but you only need 4. You don't need to collect all of them in order to solve this, as long as you know where to shoot the different pieces on the board. And make sure that you're using a single shot weapon. Burst weapons and then fully auto weapons can mess us up very easily, so keep that in mind. Essentially, you have to go to each of these different platforms in order to put the chess pieces on the board at the right place. Once you initially clear it, like I just did, then you will move on and you will put a bunch of pieces on the board in order to solve this problem. The puzzle, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Like I said, you don't need to go and collect all of the chess pieces in order to do this. You just have to get the 4 to unlock this area, and then you have to go to the medium, the initial difficulty, and not go to the higher end difficulty, the end game section, when you are doing this as well. So keep that in mind. Now, you can go back if you do make a mistake. Just go back to the top. You'll see at the end where I put in the final accepting of the solutions. You can reset it as well. So that's very important to understand, because essentially, if you make a mistake, and you'll see as the board goes on, there's going to be a lot of puzzle pieces, the chess pieces on the board. So you definitely want to make sure that you have everything exactly where it needs to be before you hit accept, because then you will find yourself in a bit of an issue. But overall, I'm a massive fan of stuff like this. You saw it on Reddit for raid secrets. You saw Mr. Waffles, Mr. RFL Waffles, who came over from COD Zombies and really, I think, excelled with the Destiny community, revitalized it almost in order to get people excited about doing puzzles like this. And I really hope that Bungie does more of this in the future. Not only does it bring the community together and allow for everyone to participate in their own way, it builds some hype towards some rewards at the end. And then along the way, if you do every part of this puzzle, I will link the other videos to do every piece of the puzzle if you want to do that instead of just this part. And if you do all of that, then you actually get additional rewards, including adept weapons from this episode as well. And I think all of that is very, very exciting. Like I said, I'm going to let the footage continue to rock, because I want, if you are curious and you want to know exactly where to put everything, this is going to show you exactly what spots to shoot. You make sure you're standing on these pillars, by the way, when you shoot the things. That was something that I think I saw some confusion on in some of these videos, as you are putting the pieces in the right spots. The other nice thing is this was the perfect lead up into the May 6th reveal of the new DLC that's coming later this year. So if you didn't know, Bungie is moving away from the standard one massive DLC and then a bunch of seasons per year. Instead, we're getting 2 smaller DLC, but also 2 major free updates, and that should lead to essentially a similar idea of 4 major content updates per year, like we've gotten with episode or seasons, and then with episodes we got 3. And I think that's overall a positive, because the story will be hard focused on the 2 major content updates, whereas the other 2 updates will be primarily focused on gameplay, hopefully puzzles and raids and dungeons, and the content where the game right now, I think, really shines. And so we should get a new raid with the next update, which I think is fantastic. And yeah, overall, just very, very exciting times, I think, for Destiny. We don't know when the next the DLC is going to launch, but as of right now, it does look very, very interesting. Plus, it looks like it's going to deal with the Nine, which is also incredibly interesting, something we haven't done nearly enough of. I think we're also getting Rights of the Nine coming next week, which is going to be the new, essentially, dungeon rotator, which I feel like is going to be pretty sick overall. After the update next week as well with the Rights of the Nine, we're also going to be getting a new Trials weapon, a new Iron Banner weapon, and a new Nightfall weapon. And not only that, but the Nightfall and the Trials weapons will be available as essentially a second drop when you get an Adept of a different version. So if you're farming the Lotus Eater Rocket Sidearm, you will actually get the new weapon to drop as well. That was listed in the TWAB today, which again, exciting times overall. I think that's very, very positive stuff for the game because of how essentially how stagnant it's kind of become in general. I do think that overall the TWAB today was pretty interesting. We got some more teases about the Rights of the Nine, and I do feel like the reprised weapons that we're going to get for the new content is going to be, they're going to be very, very good and sought after. And the challenge provided by this, if it's like Pantheon, is going to be something that a lot of players are going to enjoy. This is where, in my opinion, again, Destiny does its best work when it's reutilizing content that has been a little bit dormant, but now we can get new, fresh loot with it, or at least revitalized loot. We also have additional difficulties and challenges to take on within that content. So it does feel like this is something that the community in general is going to enjoy and like. And yeah, overall, I think this is a very positive week for the Destiny community, which is necessary. We see Marathon just launched in the alpha, and Bungie has, I think, struggled with that game just a little bit, so they need Destiny to also be on point. Otherwise, there is that massive risk of Sony essentially coming to take over and being in charge, which I don't think is necessarily... I don't know what to think about that. I think Bungie has struggled with the soul of the studio just a little bit. And yeah, so as you see in the gameplay, make sure that you double check all of the rows and columns to make sure everything is the right place before you accept this. Because if you do make a mistake and you have to do all that over, it can be quite a bit frustrating. So definitely make sure all your ducks are in the row, if you would. But yeah, I think Bungie needs to find what made it so successful in the first place. I think they can do it not only with Destiny, but also going forward with Marathon as well. They just need to make sure that they're listening to the players, but also providing innovative content in a way that they've kind of struggled with at times in recent history. So I do feel like from what we've seen, there are positive steps in the right direction, and I do feel like this is where we'll probably see some successes going forward. So this is where you're off for your answer, and then this is what it should look like if you get everything correct. Now, again, you don't have to complete the entirety of the quest line, which is like 27 steps in order to get here, but you will still get the Checkmate Triumph, so definitely claim that, and then proceed forward to get your chest here at the end with some pretty good rewards overall. You got a ship, you got this shader is excellent, an emblem, as well as some other additional updates as well. Some just resources for you. But this is where you'll go if you want to see the cutscene, and if you don't want to get spoiled, then check out now, because I am going to watch this with you and give my reaction, because I think this one is excellent. Yeah, you got a little bit of time to go finish the puzzle yourself and then watch the cutscene. But Is that a split chess piece?
Grief's a funny thing. Some folks get stuck in it, frozen in place. It holds them hostage. And some folks, well, some folks just run.
Interesting.
I went far. I had to. I couldn't look at the moon. The way I see it, the farther you run, the less likely you are to get stuck. But this universe tends to stop me in my tracks. One way or another.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be heavily involved in our story going forward, for sure.
Out there, hero. It's throwing rocks at our window.
Yeah, sick. So overall, yeah, go check it out for yourself if you have not already. Go get all the rewards for finishing that puzzle, and big shout out to everybody who worked on it. I think it's not for everyone collecting all of the chess pieces, but I'm glad they have a way for everybody to get the rewards, whether you collect every piece and complete every triumph or not. Just because the people who initially solved it will get the kudos within the community. But now we have the cutscene available. Now we have, yeah, just very exciting times overall. And I do feel like going forward, I am pretty optimistic about the state of Destiny as it stands. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always. Comment, subscribe. Have a good one. And I'll catch you all later.